Craig Parker here, Parker's Property Sourcing, just coming at you with another video today. And today's video is a question to you guys. Is the UK heading for a rental crisis in 2025? So today we're going to be looking at questions that are becoming more and more urgent across the UK. Are we heading into a rental crisis? I'm going to try and break down to you in this video as clearly and as fairly as possible so both tenants and landlords can understand what's really happening. Right now, the rental market is under pressure. Rents are rising, demand is increasing, and the number of rental properties available is falling. So in the next few slides, I'll explain why this is happening, the impact it's having on both sides, and what needs to be done to change to avoid a full-blown crisis. Hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So let's start with what we're seeing today. Across the UK, rents have reached record highs, and most regions have seen year-on-year rent increases. At the same time, more people are looking for rental homes, but fewer properties are actually available to rent. The reason why they're not available to rent is because obviously landlords are selling up. So this is creating a simple but powerful imbalance. High demand, but low supply. And whenever that happens in any market, prices rise and competition increases. So the current picture is clear. Tenants are competing for fewer homes, and landlords are receiving more inquiries per property, and affordability is becoming a challenge for many, many renters. That's it in a nutshell, basically. So why is supply falling? So one of the biggest drivers behind this pressure is the reduction of the rental supply. In recent years, a growing number of landlords have chosen to sell up. Why are they selling? I've explained it in videos before. I'll touch on it quickly. They're selling because of the increased regulations, the higher running costs, the constant tax changes, and it's led some of them to feel that renting is no longer profitable or worth the hassle. I disagree, but as I said, a lot of people follow the media, follow the naysayers, and a lot of those people are landlords, and they're just selling up, basically. Now, here's the important part. When a landlord sells to a first-time buyer or a homeowner, that property usually leaves the rental market completely. Think about it. A landlord had it for rental, and he was renting it out. He wants to sell up. He's selling it to a homeowner or a first-time buyer. It's no longer on the rental market. So every time that happens, the stock of the rental home shrinks, basically. So if more landlords continue to exit other than enter the market, the supply gap is getting bigger and bigger, or smaller and smaller, whichever way you want to look at it. And for me, this is one of the core reasons behind the current rental pressures that we're seeing. So we spoke about why supply is falling. So what happens then? Demand starts rising. So on the other side, demand for rental property is climbing. The three main reasons for this. Firstly, is the high house prices mean many people can't afford to buy. So they're renting for longer. Secondly, the higher mortgage rates have reduced affordability. So some who want to buy are having to wait. Spoke about in my video yesterday about you as an investor not waiting. A lot of homeowners are waiting. A lot of people are waiting. So there's these deals right now, today, on Rightmove that are waiting to be snapped up. And then the third, the population growth and the changing of lifestyles, such as people moving out earlier or living alone. So it increases rental demand. So we have more people needing rental accommodations and fewer landlords providing it, basically. And that gap continues to grow. So what impact is this going to have on tenants? The first impact is competition. It takes more time now. More applications, more and more money to secure a rental property. This competition naturally pushes rents higher, making rents less affordable for many households, especially the younger renters and families. Choice has also been reduced as well, in my opinion. So tenants may have to start to compromise on location, which again I've spoken about, size, or the condition just to get a house to rent. In some areas, we're seeing dozens of inquiries for one single rental listing, and that makes the process more stressful and less accessible. Now, on the flip side, what impact is it having on landlords? So, the landlords that choose to remain in the market, for this, I think it actually increases the profitability for landlords. Higher demand and limited supply, it means rental income is going to go up. Void periods are shorter, for sure, and landlords can be more selective with what tenants they choose. So while some landlords are leaving because of the regulation and costs, those who stay are definitely going to be benefiting from the stronger rental returns and more secure tenant pool that we've got. Is it a challenging time? 100% it is. But it's not a negative for all landlords. In fact, for many, the rental market is currently performing very well. Right now, my rental portfolio is performing really well. Probably nearly the best it has since I've been a landlord. So with all this scaremongering going on, I see something completely different from where I'm standing, and I'm actually in it and renting out properties as we speak. So the title of the video is Are we headed into a crisis? Are we headed into a rental crisis right now? We're in a period of significant pressure, I would say. But I wouldn't say it's a crisis. A crisis is when the rental system fails to meet demand to the point where a large number of people can't access suitable housing at all. So we're not quite there yet, but the warning signs are very, very clear. So if more landlords continue to sell and demands continue to rise, 2025 could push the system into a crisis territory, especially if no action is taken to rebalance the market. So what needs to change? So I think to prevent a rental crisis, we need balance, and solutions that support both tenants and landlords. We need enough rental properties to meet the demand, which means encouraging landlords to stay in the market and marketing rental a viable long-term business again, basically. But at the same time, it's important that tenants have fair protection, stability, and access to quality homes, which I strongly believe in as well. So the solution isn't to push landlords out, it's to create a system where renting works for everybody, where it works for tenants, it works for landlords, and the wider housing market. All of the big businesses are building everywhere in the UK, and they're building. And when I'm going past and I'm seeing billboards, I'm seeing loads of buildings going up, and it's like council homes being made. All of the big businesses are still buying. To this day, they're still buying. So for me, putting this video together, speaking to you as a potential new buyer or a seasoned investor, whichever one it may be, we've got to keep buying. We've got to stay in the market. We've got to keep buying because that's what the rich and the wealthy are doing. So we should do it too. So just to summarize and close it all off here, rents are rising, supply is falling, demand is climbing, and that imbalance is putting a real pressure on the rental market. So we're not officially in a crisis today, I'd say, but we're heading towards one if these trends that we've spoke about in this video continues. So we've got to understand what's actually happening right now. We need to prepare to help tenants, help landlords, and make informed decisions. I think. and it helps us all recognise why balance is needed in the rental sector. So that's it in a nutshell, basically. Really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been Craig Parker. Till next time.